everyone, welcome back to A Life of KG. Today on the show I have Victoria Morley. She is a success coach for salon owners that want to build a successful business and live the life that they desire. We talk a lot about mindset today. In fact, the whole session is about mindset, so it's a really good one. Without further ado, here she is. Wax by Bee, a stunning brand of luxury home fragrance, perfect to bring into your business to welcome your clients through the doors or even retail and earn an extra income. Become a wholesaler today or even just fill your business or home with our signature scents. Use code KGPodcast for 10% off your orders. Visit waxbybee.co.uk. Victoria, welcome to the Life of KG. How are you?
I'm very good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Looking gorgeous as always.
Ditto.
So I'm going to start with some quick fire questions for you. Obviously, you're unaware of these, so let's see how we get on. So do you prefer lashes or nails?
Oh, lashes.
Good girl, so do I. Working from home or working from the office?
Home all day long.
Really?
My office is in my home, so I'm at home. Yeah.
People have very mixed answers on that one. Some people like just to get out, or some people, I love working from home as well.
Yeah, love it.
A book or a podcast?
Oh, it used to be a book, but I think now it's got to change to a podcast. Now I'm a new mum.
It's because of time, right?
Oh yeah.
I love a book. I'm literally surrounded by books, but
I will
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same. But I'll go and read one, and I end up nodding off.
I just don't even attempt it anymore. So podcast, but even I've had friends that have got kids, and they always say, "Oh, I've not got time to do this X, Y, Z," and I'm like, "How can you not have time?" I know what they mean now. So yeah, it's just carving out the time.
Definitely. A beach holiday or a pool holiday?
Beach, definitely. It's more nature, it's less man-made.
Yeah, I love a good beach.
Yeah.
So let's get into it. Can you introduce yourself and just tell everyone what you do?
Yeah, sure. So I'm a success coach for entrepreneurs, salon business owners, all the rest in the hair, beauty and aesthetics industry.
Perfect. So what's your background? Everyone's got a story. What's kind of your story? Oh, yeah. What made you get into this career that you're in now?
I know, it was so random how I ended up in this niche, but so I come from a corporate background. I was in corporate sales for nearly 20 years. Super successful. We'll get on to what my definition of success is now versus then. But it's the typical story of, earning great money, doing really well, but just knowing you're not aligned. Aligned is like my favorite word if you see me on Facebook or Instagram. And it was really, interestingly enough, the year that I brought in the most amount of money, which was I'll be happy when I earn that much figure. That was the year I was like, am I allowed to swear, by the way?
Go for it.
Yeah, that was the year I was like, shit, what the hell am I doing? Because this money isn't making me happy. So I knew at that point I was going to have to shift out of that industry. It took me a while to do that because I was walking away from a six-figure salary and the comfort and all I've ever known. So I started training to be a coach, an accredited coach, an NLP master practitioner. And I think I was about 6 weeks pregnant when I packed in my job and then opened up my doors for my coaching practice, which some say bold, some say stupid, but best thing I could have ever done, because I couldn't have been the mum I want to be and that I am being had I been in that job. Although I would have got fantastic maternity, pay and time off, I wouldn't have been able to, over the long term, raise her like I want to raise her. So, yeah.
So then you're quite fresh then, aren't you, in the business?
Less than a year. And how I ended up in this industry, I mean, I originally thought I was going to be a coach for the corporate women who felt unaligned and wanted to, diversify, do something else. But my sister, who's quite well connected in the industry, she was like, because I needed obviously start coaching people while I was training. She was like, oh, I've got some friends that you can coach, that happen to be salon business owners. And really quickly, because my passions, started off with mindset, which I know we'll go on to, but very, very quickly I realized that although they'd been going through different coaching programs and things like that, their mindset needed so much work. So I was like, and I loved coaching them. Love, the people in this industry, because they're all empaths like me, people pleasers like I used to be, and I really saw how much mindset was actually limiting them. So I very quickly, into opening my doors, niched specifically into this industry, and it was literally the best thing I ever did. So, yeah.
You're literally doing incredible.
Yeah, it's been crazy. But it's just been amazing. I've never been so happy.
That's so good. And I guess it also gives you like that flexibility around your little one.
Exactly. And that's what I needed. Yeah. But I came back to work really quickly. I came back to work after about 4.5 weeks, but only for a couple of hours a week. But now I literally have 2 client-facing days, which are 5 hours each. So we've had to get a nanny to come in because the Harper's grandparents just aren't that close by and aren't free. But I can hop in and see her in between calls, so it just doesn't feel like I'm taking time away from her. But I'm getting part of me. I'm getting to do the thing I love as well. So I feel like I've kept hold of my identity, which I know a lot of new mums can lose.
Yeah, definitely. We'll go on to a little bit more about running businesses and babies a little bit later on.
You're a damn hand at that.
Yeah. So you've mentioned your passions mindset. Where does that come from?
Yeah. I spent most of my life feeling not good enough. So that was and I remember it started when I was at school. It started when I felt like I was a bit of an outsider, and I internalized it, which is how beliefs get created, and made it mean something about me rather than it just being an event that happened around me. So that led me to make bad decisions in relationships, because I kept wanting to reinforce the I'm not good enough by going, being with narcissists, basically. I stayed in jobs out of fear. I wanted to be the top performer in companies, not because I loved what I did, but because I felt like I had to prove I was good enough. So really, there was literally 2 decades of my career and growing up it was all a result of the not being good enough belief. But it just shows you can be successful and have a really self-limiting belief, but not the type of successful that makes you happy. So I was literally woke up most days with anxiety. I went on medication in my early 20s. Well, I was given medication, took it once, and then was like, shit, I need to go and get some counseling or something. So and there was like trauma stuff. There was all sorts that went on. And I tried therapy, I tried counseling, and then really it wasn't until I started doing my coaching qualification that I guess healed myself to a degree. So yeah, mindset is freaking everything. If you've not got the right mindset, if you are, overcome and controlled by your belief system, I'm not good enough, fear of visibility, fear of failure, fear of judgment, and all the fear of success even, you see it time and time again. It limits people from being successful in an aligned way that's right for them. Sometimes they pursue careers or paths that actually they don't really want. And I see that quite a lot in some of the women that I start coaching as well. They've done all these things they thought they wanted to do that they thought was what they wanted. And then all of a sudden they're like, actually, this isn't lighting me up. Never was, but I thought I needed to head towards there. So mindset's everything. Mindset's everything for success. And I know you know that as well, with obviously the journey you went through. So
yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm huge on mindset as well, but do you find that people's mindset battles stem from when they were younger? Yeah,
near enough every single time, unless they've had trauma later on in their life, near enough every single time. And without boring you with this part, if you pick the ages between 0 and 7, we're in alpha and theta brainwaves. They're basically the same brainwaves you and I would be in if we were being hypnotized or meditating, which is subconscious level programming. So anything that happens when you're growing up, if it's an event that happens to you or around you, you can internalize it and create a belief. Or if you're brought up with parents that have a belief like money is the root of all evil, people like us will never be successful. We always have to work 10 times harder than everyone else. It creates a subconscious level belief and programming. And that literally dictates every single action you take, every big decision you make, your emotions, everything, if it's left unchecked. And quite often people don't realize they have some of these subconscious level beliefs or where they stemmed from until they get to that point in their life where they're like, I don't know why I'm not moving to that next level of success. And then all of a sudden we do the work and they're like, shit, that was something that happened when I was 5 years old, where I felt, the kids at school didn't want to play with me. And I told myself I wasn't good enough. So it can just start from something like that.
Yeah, isn't it amazing that, I guess as parents as well, I find it even more amazing. You kind of look at these little children, you think they're just little children. Like things go over their heads. Like sometimes they don't take it in, but they're taking every single little thing in, aren't they? That's going to create them into the person that they're going to grow up to be.
And if they feel like their needs aren't being met in a certain way, just by something someone said or something something they said or did, then that can create this belief. Like I'm unlovable is a belief that I've also heard from my clients as well, and things like that. And then that will dictate the type of relationships you end up in. It will dictate how you interact with your clients as well, and your boundary setting and all that stuff as well. So people pleasing, another huge one. If you've got an I'm not good enough belief, because you just want to make everyone else like you at your own expense. So it is scary how much mindset will control your whole life. And it's also scary how many people just don't do any work on it.
Because I guess the positive is that you can change your mindset. Like no matter what you've gone through in your younger life, you can change it, can't you?
Yeah, it's just creating new neural pathways. It's just creating a new subconscious level programming. And the weird thing is, once you've worked on your mindset to that degree where you're really getting awareness into your thoughts, feelings, actions, emotions, and beliefs, working out where they've came from, and then start correcting them with the actual true beliefs, you notice how many people around you have self-limiting beliefs and say them all the time. Like as soon as it sometimes happens before I start working with someone, and you can just tell by someone's language. If someone says, oh, I've always been like that, I'll always be like that. I'm like, well, that's a belief that can be changed. I'm not very good at sales. And I'm like, you keep telling yourself that you will never be very good at sales. So we've got to change that, what you're telling yourself. So even just starting on getting awareness into the language you say to yourself, can really open your eyes to how your mindset already is. Yeah,
this is incredible. I think we could talk about this subject all day, honestly. I can get right into one. But yeah, when it comes to obviously business and business success, that's obviously mindset is a huge part of business, like massively. What would your tips be to how do you live keeping a strong mindset like daily that other businesses can do?
First of all, if you've already worked on your mindset, just keeping that awareness muscle, as I call it, in check. So always paying attention to how what you say out loud to other people about yourself, what thoughts you have, what emotions. Recognizing mindset work is ongoing. You don't work on it once and then that's it, because and you'll know this, if I've done a new launch in the business, if I've pushed boundaries, if I've gone to the next level in whatever it is, some of those beliefs come up again that I've already done work on. But the beauty is I recognize it and I'm like, that is just a belief. I don't have to pay attention. I don't have to listen. And I'm going to do the exact opposite from what you're telling me to do. It's like you almost have like two voices on either side of you. So definitely that. The other thing is just focusing on controlling what you can control. Because when people slip into a negative mindset, quite often they're trying to control people's beliefs around them, or thoughts or actions around them. They're trying to control things that are completely outside of their control, which is going to cause anxiety, simple things like that. And then something I always do, if I'm ever feeling a little bit overwhelmed, which is a common theme in this industry. As a business owner, you can get really overwhelmed. What is the one thing that I can be doing that will move the needle towards the goals, whether they're personal, whether they're business, whatever it is? You know, if you've not got clients coming through the door, what is the one thing that always works if you put all your effort into it? Just do that one thing. So it's just focusing on the controllables, because then you feel like you are in control of your destiny again, rather than fixated on the things that are completely outside. And COVID was a huge eye-opener for, I'm sure, a lot of salon business owners, because they were being told when they couldn't open. And I saw salon business owners almost laying down and just being like, there's nothing I can do, or going into a victim mentality. And we've all been in victim mentality. This isn't a stab. And then I saw other ones that were like, okay, and you can tell they've done the mindset work. What things can I control? What things can I do that's outside the box to bring revenue into my business? And I coach a lot of skin professionals. So they were starting to do virtual consultations, you know, putting people on subscriptions for skincare. So they were bringing in, and this has transformed the way they do business now. This is bringing in money into their business that they weren't tapping into before. So having that can-do mindset, that growth mindset, literally, you just start thinking of the possibilities and you just freaking go for them. So I know I went off on one there, but...
No, I love it. Lockdown really was a fight or flight for people, wasn't it?
Massively. And for those people that were in that fear mindset, that rabbit in the headlights type moment, when you are in fight or flight, you can't think strategically, you can't come up with creative ideas, you are in survival mode. So those were the people that were just stuck, that will have gone into that victim mentality, as I call it, versus the people that were like, okay, what can I control? What can I do? I can do things remotely. I can post things out to people. I can explore this new avenue I haven't done before. You know, I've got some clients that have going into coaching now and stuff like that, because they actually recognized during that time that it was something they wanted to do. So I think it's just mindset helps open up endless possibilities in your business life, you know, whatever part of your life it is. So the more people do it, oh my God, the more world it opens up to them, the more joy.
Yeah. Are you into the whole like affirmations and writing things down and all of that? Like, how does your kind of, what are your steps to good mindset? Like, what do you do?
I do not do affirmation personally for myself, because I've got to where I am. I don't do them. I tell my clients to do them when they're at the start of their mindset journey, and if they need a little nudge. But I'm so clued into it. I know when I've got I'm not good enough belief, and I'm just like, shut up, I am freaking good enough. Go to the side, and I'm just going to crack on. So I personally now don't use them. However, for those that haven't worked on their mindset and are through this, you know, hearing this, are thinking, oh my God, I've definitely got an I'm not good enough. I've definitely got a fear of failure or a fear of success, or, you know, whatever it is going back to how that belief was made, gaining a different perspective on that event, situation, or thing someone said, creating your own belief. And yes, stick that belief everywhere you can, because you will be surprised how many times through the day that self-limiting belief is going to be cropping up and making you make terrible decisions in your business out of fear, rather than decisions in your business that are actually going to push your business forward. So yes, I would highly recommend that. Meditation as well is a game changer. I'd love to spend more time meditating, and I can't. But meditation, for those that haven't worked on mindset, is brilliant, because it just calms everything down. It helps with creativity. It helps with productivity. It is obviously immunity. It's brilliant. And you can literally just do 5 minutes a day, and it can change all those different aspects. The other thing, go out in nature. If I've got a client whose head is up their butt and they're having a terrible day and they just feel like they're in that negative emotional state, I'm like, forget everything else that you think you need to do. Just go for a walk, go near water, do something that's going to lift your mood, play with the dog, you know, something that helps change your state of being. And then other times my advice is, if you want to just hide under the duvet, just go hide under the duvet, cry it out, whatever you need to do to release all that negative energy, because also bottling stuff in is really not good for you either.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, because sometimes I say to my clients, allow yourself today just to feel like that, to do binge out, do watch Netflix, which I'd never advise, that, allow yourself to be like that, and then tomorrow, you've got to get up and shift it again.
Yeah, and I don't get me wrong, especially when Harper was first born, I had days I was crying all the time, and I'm a crier. If I watch something that's sad on TV or happy, I cry. If someone cries, I cry. So I am a bit of a crier, but I was like doubting everything about me, my capabilities of a mum. But I knew it was a belief system, and I was like, I just need to feel it, let it out, say all the stuff that's going through my head. And then once I got that stuff out, the next day, I'm like, I've got this. I'm a great mum. So yeah, totally. You just got to feel it sometimes.
Yeah, another thing that you said just resonated as well, people that are scared of success. I think a lot of people listening will think, what? People are scared of success. But I had a client just yesterday that was like, I'm just too scared to do it. I don't want to, what if it really blows up? What if it's really successful?
Yep.
Like, it's so amazing that people that have that mindset.
Yeah. And sometimes that's what will other people think. So I had a client that didn't want to earn over 100K a year. She said she wants to. And I'm like, I'm sensing that actually you don't. Let's go into that. And we found out it's because she had friends that were wealthy in her eyes, and they weren't that nice people. So her belief system is, if I earn that much money, other people won't think I'm nice, or maybe I will become not a nice person. So once again, it was a belief system stopping her from being able to earn over a certain amount. Another thing as well that I've seen is I had a client that's bank balance never went over a certain amount, never did. And that exact amount was in relation to an inheritance they were left. It wasn't a lot of money. It was like a few grand, something like that. But that was the safety net. But that was safe to her. Anything above that was out of her comfort zone. So she always spent her money and never earned over that amount, which I found really interesting as well. So and this is why people need to do work on what their definition of success is too, because success, I demonstrate, isn't just earning, 200K a year or whatever it is. It's everything else. It's the balance. It's spending time with your family. It's following your passions, purpose. It's building a legacy. It's so many different things to so many different people. Another fear of success will probably be from someone's parents saying rich people aren't very nice. Successful people aren't great. They're not nice people. So it's often something like that that's running through it as well. So we will sabotage ourselves at every single turn possible if we don't do work on our mindset. It's on autopilot. I forgot to mention, 95% of your thoughts, feelings, actions, emotions, and beliefs are on autopilot because they're subconscious level. So literally people self-sabotage without even knowing it, which is scary.
Yeah, it really is. Wow, it's actually incredible if you think about it.
Yeah, so no wonder the people that have, like you have a hero's story, which I absolutely love. The people that have gone through that hero's journey, which usually involves some mindset work, they're the ones that are just like, oh, I'm thinking of doing this, I'll just do it. Oh, I'll just do that. Because you've like almost cracked the nut open, so to speak, versus the people that haven't, who just stay safe, comfortable, but really, really unhappy and unaligned as well. So yeah, mindset's everything.
I really struggle with, I don't know if people are going to dislike me for saying this, but I really struggle with people that aren't open to doing the mindset work when they really need it. Like, because just for example, my story, I could have stayed on the floor and not done anything, or I could have just done, any job that I didn't need a qualification for and become not a lot. But I started counselling young, I started mindset work young, I started being like, okay, well, if I don't want to be that person, what do I want to become, and make myself become that. So then when people say things like, no, I can't do that, or it's okay for you had a helping hand, or any of that kind of stuff, it's like you just want to bang your head, because I'm like, you can do anything you want to do. Literally anything you want to do, you can do it. And sometimes it's just so frustrating because you just want to help these people, but then some people don't want their help either, do they?
No, and you cannot. I remember when I first went through my coaching qualification, I saw all those people around me that I cared about with really self-limiting beliefs. And it was like this light was just shining on them, and I wanted to correct them all, help them all. And some responded, others you could tell were just like my dad, so stuck in the mud. It was just, wasted time on both our parts. So yes, people have to want to be helped. Also, people have to know it's going to be, I use the word icky, it's going to be icky because a lot of it stems back from childhood, and you might have believed that you had the most perfect upbringing in the world, and you had loving parents, but then you do the work and you actually realize you actually felt abandoned because your dad was working 12-hour days and he barely saw you. So you've got an abandonment issue, and you've got a want to be successful just to impress your father, which is what I had. So it can be quite emotional for people when they actually realize sometimes just the fact that their childhood has impacted them in those ways. And no one wants to think bad of their parents if they've been brought up with a belief from a parent, people like us will never be rich. That's a really shitty belief to pass on to kids, because that kid, if it doesn't sort its mindset out, will never be whatever rich is to them, but will never be wealthy. And what's been on that subject, what's been really interesting is the women that I've coached, most of them, probably all of them, have got kids, and in some cases grandkids. You see the penny drop when they're like, shit, my beliefs, I've probably been pushing them onto my kids without even realizing. But I've just said that now you can start correcting them, because they've then realized in some cases some of their kids have been taking on their beliefs and it's been affecting them in school and things like that. So it's not just to do it for yourself, it's to do it for it's correcting generational beliefs. And that is, if someone doesn't want to do it for themselves, do they want to do it for their children or their grandkids? And you'd hope a lot of people would genuinely want to not push any of that belief system onto their kids or grandkids, because we've got to stop it at some point, or else it just goes down generation to generation, which is also scary. It's like the doom of mindset, isn't it, today?
Well, I bet this is going to help so many people, though. I bet it's going to help so many people, though. Money mindset, I absolutely love, and I'm really careful when it comes to what I say around Lola and what she's intaking about money and her views and stuff, because I know whatever I'm saying now will affect her when she's older. So until you realize that, then you will be more careful around the children.
Yeah, exactly. And kids are like sponges. Like she probably copied a swear word once. Like, think of everything is just getting imprinted into her brain. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
But it's amazing. See, this is a gift for her, that you are so conscious of what you're saying around her. And so many people haven't done the work, so they don't know not to do that. They're just, just carrying on as normal.
And don't get me wrong, sometimes you slip up, right? The other day she's been a right spoiled brat. and it was about money, because she's like, I want this. And I said, I can't even believe I said it. Money don't grow on trees, And as soon as it come out of my mouth, I was like, I cannot believe that just come out of my mouth.
What did you follow up with afterwards? Were you like, oh, it does.
Oh, I definitely turned it around somehow. But as soon as it come out my mouth, I thought, I'm the one person that doesn't come out of my mouth, and it come out because just, when they make you bite, don't they? Oh my God.
You will have been told that when you were growing up. So it will have just been a quick to-do.
Yeah, definitely. And then on the other hand, I've got her saving, and well, you've got this much, so why don't you just spend this much and then save this much? And it's fascinating, really. So if you start doing it with your kids, this is a good one.
Yeah, you're right.
£17,500. That's how much your business could be missing out on in tax breaks. New research tells us that most small British businesses don't know what tax breaks they're entitled to. Uniforms, training, even summer parties. Osome won't let you miss out on tax breaks your business is entitled to. Osome gives you the tools to keep track of what you're owed and an expert accountant to advise on the right tax breaks for your business. Think about what your business could do with an extra £17,500 each year. Go to osome.com/Spotify. That's awesome.com/Spotify to get exclusive access to awesome software and 2 months free accounting. Get an awesome team to make running your business awesome.
So going back to business, and business is a real battle, right? Like 1 minute we're winning, and you'll know this because you're working with business owners, salon owners all the time. So 1 minute we're winning in life, the next minute we've got staff issues, or maybe we're trying to get like new clients through the door. And it's always just a roller coaster. We always see them like memes online, don't we, where our feelings are so up and down in business. And obviously that's where anxiety comes from. And I think in our industry, possibly you'll know better than me, is it because we're people pleasers? There's always anxiety around our roles. What advice would you give to try and get over that and maybe have some more control over the anxiety?
Yeah, people pleasing, like I said before, is huge. I talk a lot about identity work as well, and you've got to think a lot of people in this industry start off as a therapist, then they decide to set up maybe a home salon, or they start doing it mobile, so then they became a business owner, but they're still in that therapist mindset. Then they opened a salon, so they're starting to manage staff, now they're a manager, and then they're wanting to grow, diversify, pivot, whatever it is. Then they're having to step into the entrepreneur mindset. Most of them are still in that therapist mindset. So you first of all got the problem of an identity crisis here, where the therapist is not going to make the same decisions, have the right beliefs that an entrepreneur would have. So first of all, you've got people wearing the wrong hats in the business, or trying to do all those different things without focusing on being like you're an entrepreneur in your business. You delegate things out to people, and you're running it in that way. So I think identity work's a huge one. People pleasing, like I say, there's normally a I'm not good enough belief that we're running through people that are people pleasers. I was so worried about people disliking me. I didn't actually know. Have you ever seen Runaway Bride with Julia Roberts?
Yes.
Where she doesn't know what eggs she wants. She's like, every single partner, she copies whatever eggs they have. So she has like 10 different types of eggs that she says is her favorite. So it was kind of like me. I didn't actually know who I was or what I really wanted, because I was trying so much to please other people. I see that a lot with salon business owners as well, especially if they're managing, especially with their clients as well. I don't think they've given themselves permission to truly home into what their needs are, what boundaries they need to put in place, what place they're heading. So many people don't set goals and check their alignment to goals. They think they want to own multiple salons, but really they don't. So there's a misalignment there as well. And then there's the control issue, where they are a people pleaser, will try and control everyone else's thoughts, feelings, actions, and emotions, and put themselves last, when really the only person's thoughts, feelings, actions, and emotions they can control are their own. So the first work I always do is getting them to step in. I call it staying in their donut, because you've got them in the middle, everyone else on the outside. So my clients just post pictures of donuts now, but the first thing I get them to do is stay in their donut and stop trying to control how other people might feel towards them, or think about them, or believe, because this is affecting them charging their value. This is affecting them having time with their family, because they're allowing clients to book in at 7 o'clock at night with a 4-hour gap. They're doing treatments they don't love doing anymore. Like the amount of clients that come to me, they want to specialize in like skin, and they're doing manis and pedicures. They don't want to stare at feet all day. Do you know what I mean? They want to be working on the skin with transformation. So it's getting people really comfortable, and like I say, giving themselves permission to actually own what they want, what's going to light them up, the direction they're going in, controlling only themselves, and surrendering to the fact that they cannot control people around them. And it's weird, once they start to realize they actually have a lot more power in their direction and destiny, in what they need, putting their needs first, their family's needs first, their balance, so actually putting boundaries in place. And then last but not least, charging their value, which, oh my goodness, you want to just shake people and be like, come on, you're literally operating near enough at a loss. You've got to start charging your value. And the amount of people that do not value themselves, convince themselves, oh, well, I don't know as much as that person, so I can't be seen as a specialist or expert. Well, guess what? There's a million coaches that probably know more than me. There's always going to be someone else in the world, bar that guru person, who knows more than each of us about what we do. It's fact, isn't it? So getting people to let go of this perfectionism as well, it just helps them step into their power, and then they literally have control of their destiny all of a sudden for the first time. There was loads there, I know, but oh my goodness, there's just so many different things that creates anxiety in a person, that creates that feeling of overwhelm. And then last but not least, like I said before, focusing on that one thing. If you're feeling anxious in your business, if you've not got clients coming through the door, if you're not as profitable as you'd like to be, what's the one thing that is going to impact that thing that you want to do more of, whether that's, more revenue, more profit, sell more products, whatever it is. What is the one thing? And just focus on that, because then it takes that overwhelmed feeling away, and it actually helps you to regain a feeling of control again around where you're going. So anxiety is normally a control thing. We feel out of control.
I've suffered with anxiety so much over the years and around the business, and I really had to pinpoint what was it that was causing it, like what was my trigger, and then either get someone else to do that and delegate that job out that was causing it, or to try and obviously somehow work around it somehow. But until you really pinpoint what it is that's triggering you, it's quite hard to shift it and work on it. But I do really feel for those that really, suffer with anxiety, because it's the worst, but it's definitely just awful. It's definitely something that you can work on and manage, because as soon as it comes into my head now, I know exactly how to manage it and shift it and piss off, get out. And different things that will, even if it comes to what I eat, what I drink, my exercise, all of those things, if I'm not doing certain things, I know why it will start creeping back.
I used to be like that. I think I had a bit of body dysmorphia, because if I wasn't going to the gym so many days a week, oh my God, I'd be like, I'm going to end up fat. I've never been fat in my life, but I'm going to end up fat. But that was my not good enough flowing through. And then now I've got a baby on the scene. I'm like, I literally have to prioritize what is most important right now. I'm not going to end up fat. I'm not going to end up ill because I'm not doing the amount of exercise that I was doing before. I can control what I can control. And have to say, this would have been a completely different time for me had I not done the work I've done. It would have been probably horrific. I think I said in a post on Facebook, I probably would have ended up with postnatal depression. I can see how women end up like that. Totally. I never thought I would do, because I'm a mindset coach, but oh my God, yes, I get it.
And just because we're coaches, it doesn't mean we're indispensable either. Like, we all have dips too. We just maybe just get out of them a little bit quicker, but we still have them dips. Well,
I have a coach. I had a few months break when Harper came along, but I'm back with a coach again now, because I know I need that support. I just need to have that person that can call out BS, who can ask me the right questions, to get to the right outcomes and keep me accountable and focused. So that's another thing. If people don't work with a coach, and I know you believe in this so much as well, a coach or mentor, like, oh my God. I did a post today. I think it was, you've got access to all the wealth and balance you want. It's called your business. Like, people need to realize they are sat on the thing that can catapult them to whatever they want in their life. But too many people are not investing in it. They're not recognizing that they've got this little engine here that, with the right fuel, the right driver, the right maintenance, can take them anywhere. You're testament to that in this industry. So that's my frustration at the moment.
I mean, I had a session with my coach yesterday. I literally will jump on every single month. I will never miss it. It's like my thing. And sometimes you get on with life and you think, oh, I've got no questions, or I'm okay. But then you sit on the call and it's like, bleh, it all comes out. There's so much more that you need to talk about. But when people aren't willing to invest in a coach, it baffles me. Like, I put a post up yesterday as well, and it's about results of a client of one of my clients that they've had, and it was actually incredible, like so incredible it looks like I've made it up. Like her results are insane. So I shared them because obviously what we coach is very different. You're mainly mindset, I'm more about teams and like different things like that. So and the amount of messages I got, how can I do this, how can I make that money? But then you give them prices of different programs, and obviously you've got lower budget programs, you've got your higher budget programs, and none of them want to invest. And you think, you're not going to, well, not that you're not going to get there, you will get there if you've got the mindset to get there, but it's going to take you a lot slower on your own, rather than investing in a coach that might cost you however much a month, but you're making that back and more. And the mindset around it, some people just can't get it. And I'm like, this is why people get results.
Fear of failure. It always, if someone is not investing, it's fear of failure and fear of not being good enough. There'll be those belief systems will be baked into their decision making when it comes to that investment all day long. So start calling them out on it before you give them the price as well. I put it in all my proposal emails. I'm like, you are going to go through this. You're going to think that, and then reason why that's actually BS. You're going to think this is a reason why it's BS. I always call out the things that I know are going to trigger them, because money triggers everyone. It's such an emotional thing. But really it's just an energy exchange. Like I gave an example on my on the masterclass I did in my academy the other day, and I'm like, in the olden days they like swapped a sheep for a few loaves of bread. Do you know what I mean? We wouldn't be getting all anxious about that. We'd just do the trade. But for some reason, money has just created this huge emotional trigger for people, that they can't see it just as you're going to give me that, which is going to help me create that, and I'll just give you that. That's all it is. But funnily enough, and this goes back to We Are Human too, when I signed up to my new coach, which is a lot of money each month, triggered my money blocks. Like, they all fired up, and I'm like, I know what my clients go through, but I'm not spending that with the mindset that I'm losing it and it's an outgoing. I'm investing it. It's going to come back X-fold. So even coaches do go through that, but we recognize that it is just the BS we're telling ourselves because we're in a mini moment of fear.
Yeah.
Fear's shit.
Isn't it just? So, on a happier note, tell me about gorgeous Harper.
Oh my God, she's just, oh my God, you've been through this. It blows my mind every single day what different things she's doing and how she's progressing. And oh my God, she's blowing my mind at the moment. I just love every minute of it. And I knew I'd love doing all the sensory stuff and, oh my God, I love it. I just feel like I'm hanging out with my bestie that can't communicate with me properly yet. But yeah, loving it. The sleep deprivation was hard at the start because I'm a 9-10 hour sleeper. Mm-hmm. Not anymore. I was a 9-10 hour sleeper, but we've had a few nights where she's gone 8 hours now with a few little like murmurs and stuff like that. But that's, I think, pretty incredible because we were like, I don't know when she's ever going to sleep longer than 5 hours at one point. So yeah, that's got better. I'm loving buying clothes for her. And I don't dress her in girly stuff, like not like she's got like little yoga pants and cute stuff like that. But it's not like I'm putting her in like dresses every day, but I just freaking love picking an outfit for her for the day, getting her in there and then doing some playtime. Just love it. It's the best. Oh. Not rushing to have another yet though.
No. How have you found like running the business and having a baby? Because like I said, I'm obviously currently pregnant. I mean, I look very pregnant today. I'm swollen in the face.
But, great.
But like running a business and then having a baby, obviously your priorities change. Your first love's always going to be your baby, but then you've got this whole part of you that's like, I love my business, like that's me, my child isn't my identity. Like I've always said that Lola's not my identity. I love her, I'll give her the world, I'll do everything for her, but I'm also me. But how did you struggle with that, or was you okay?
Taking the time out when she was first born was needed, and I didn't, as you know, I didn't take that long. It was 4 weeks of doing zero work. I like
I'm doing the same.
Yeah, I rocked up to one of the academy calls and just said hi with her, but that was it. And then I only started back a couple of hours a week, and then I built back up to 2 days of 5 hours where I see her in between, and then sometimes I add on an extra day. If anything, because I'm not going to lie, during my pregnancy, I had a really good pregnancy and I was in creator mode constantly. I was on fire. I don't know how many things I launched during that time, but I was literally like, pull, 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 pull. Then baby came. And then when I started going back to work a few more hours, I had brain fog. And I was crying because I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to ever get my mojo back at work where I'm firing on all cylinders. Because when I'm coaching, I feel like I'm on fire almost. It's the best thing ever. I felt foggy and it's terrified me. Only lasted for a few weeks. And then now I'm back to being, I think I've come back better than when I went, to be perfectly honest. I'm having to get really, my boundaries are my boundaries. I'm really strict on those, which I knew I would be anyway. But what I'll be working with my new coach with is really making sure that the days that I am working, I am really certain on exactly, I'll be doing time blocking on what tasks are going to get done when, because right now I'm back to back with clients the days that we've got help. I've got no time to actually do any other revenue generating things other than that. So I've got to be really, really, really on it. So I think it's going to make my business the leanest it's ever been in from a time perspective. Somehow, I don't know if we've had this like upgrade. One of my clients says it's the moon, but in the last week or so, I've just come up with more ideas, and it's like I've just taken a limitless pill or something. So that's amazing. It feels like I've just gone up a level, like up leveled myself. I don't know how. I feel like being a mom, going through labor, going through pregnancy, raising a child, going through all that. I think it really does strengthen your mindset as well, because I think, shit, I'm really proud of actually that part of my life, going through all that, because I was the woman that was like, I'm never going to give birth naturally. I was like, it'll come out the sunroof, and here's me home birth in the nursery in Morley.
Really?
Honestly, yeah. So it has really taught me that I can do, and I can put my mind to the thing that anything, even the thing that I told myself I would never do. So it's been amazing. Yeah. Could have been different.
She's going to grow up a little tough cookie though, isn't she, with your mindset?
God. Honestly, I can't wait till she starts talking and stuff like that, and but I will be on it if I see any limiting beliefs coming through, or my husband says anything that's self-limiting or anything like that. I will be like, it's completely not true, but let me tell you why. Yeah.
What about your husband? Is he very similar to you of mindset, or is he quite different?
He's different with a yin yang. Like I call myself like a CEO because I'm very high level detail. He is detail oriented. Like when he buys stuff, it takes him 10 hours to buy something that's like 10 quid because he researches it all. I'm like an instant, okay, yeah, we'll get it. With Harper, I'm very rarely like lose my cool. There was times when she was screaming at night where I just wanted to run out the room and scream into a pillow. He's a lot more hot-headed, like he's way more impatient than I am. So I'm correcting him all the time because I'm like, you've got to be patient. She's just a baby. You've got to be patient. So he probably hates the fact that I do what I do now. And then already I'm priming him saying, you can't say that because she'll pick up on that. So you've got to, so he's probably thinking, why did I marry a success coach? Poor guy. But I love how different we're similar in so many ways because we're like best friends, but in various other ways we're very, very different. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. I love it. I've been saying that to my partner at the moment with the hormones raging. I've been crying every day, and I'm like, you're gonna wish you didn't put that ring on my finger.
Oh, he will not.
It's hilarious what babies and pregnancy does to you, but it definitely makes you stronger.
Definitely. Hormones are like crazy, because I never suffered from hormones like that when I was, on my period or something. Like, it just didn't really affect me. So for me to have gone through that was weird. I avoided morning sickness as well, by the way, and was never sick.
Me too.
Oh, God, I couldn't have dealt with throwing up every day. Oh no.
Yeah. No, I've got a friend that's pregnant currently, and she's sick all day, every day, and it's just awful, just awful. The hormones and getting bigger on weight is enough for me.
Well, I was in the belief that, my tummy will go down fairly quickly afterwards. I've got a little pouch. Like when I'm doing yoga, very rarely when I'm doing yoga, I look down and I've got this little hangy belly thing, and I'm like, what the hell is that? It looks like it just shouldn't be there, but it's just there. I'm like, when's that going to go?
Welcome to having the mum tum.
Honestly, I was huge during my pregnancy. Like, I went for a maternity shoot at 36 weeks, and the photographer was like, are you sure you're just 36 weeks? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, I've never photographed a bump that big. I'm like, awesome. Can't wait what this is going to look like when baby's out.
It's all fun and games.
Yeah.
Well, Victoria, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on the show. How can people connect with you?
Website's victoriamorley.com. Connect from everything from there. Facebook, I've got a group. If anyone wants to join my free group, we go into loads of mindset stuff. So that's Salon Mindset Success with a little comma between each one. And then Instagram, Victoria J. Morley. Facebook, Victoria Morley _ the Success Coach. So loads of places.
You hang out more on Facebook, is that right?
I tend to at the moment, because I've just had to pick what the best use of my time is right now. It's just got to be what's the one thing that can move the needle. So, I'm mostly there at the moment, but I am going to start shifting more onto the gram.
Yeah, the gram, the famous gram.
Gram.
Not hit the TikTok yet then.
I'm not a TikTok fan. I don't know if it's just me like resisting, but my husband looks on TikTok and it winds me up, and they show stuff on there you don't want to see. Like upsetting stuff. You don't want to see that. No. I want to see happy stuff. So no, I'm not going to go on TikTok.
No, you always say tears on TikTok, and I think, why are they crying? Like, no, I have to get off it. Yeah.
Avoided that.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me on.
Hi, I'm Sarah from T&B Skills Training. I've used the government-funded apprenticeship schemes to build all my 6 hair and beauty businesses, and in the process, I have made thousands of pounds doing it. I'm now looking for like-minded salon owners who are interested in doing the same. Everything hair, beauty, customer service, management, salon coach and assessing. If you'd like to know more, please click on the show notes and get in touch. I'm looking forward to your call.